All right, so here with question number 2, the directions are still the same. We are finding the x and y intercepts and then graphing the equation. All right, so if we apply the same rules that we did with question number 1 and we make our little t-table here and we fill in a 0 for one of our x's and a 0 for one of our y's, and we're going to start finding the x and y intercepts, and we take a look at our equation and boom, we see something that might throw us off a little bit. And we simply see y equals 6. Well, that's interesting. Why isn't there an x in this particular equation? Well, when you have a situation like this, where you have just a single variable and then equals some number, so whether it's y equals 3 or x equals 5 or y equals -1 or x equals 0, anytime you have a situation like that where it's just a single variable equaling some number, you're going to either have a horizontal line or a vertical line. And the way that you can remember this is whatever variable you've been given is the axis that your line is going to go through. All right, so again, if we take a look here at our grid, at our coordinate plane, we can see that we have our x-axis, which is running horizontally, and we have our y-axis running vertically. And because we've been given an equation with y equals 6, we know this line is going to cross the y-axis. Well, where is it going to cross the y-axis? Well, it's going to cross at positive 6. So let's go ahead, and I always like to go ahead and put one point directly at the y-intercept. And now, because this is simply a horizontal line going through y equals 6, this line consists of just drawing a horizontal line going right through y equals 6. So this line has infinite number of points, and every single ordered point on this line, the y-coordinate is 6. The x is changing, right? So here at our y-intercept, we have 0, 6 is the ordered pair. But if we move 1 unit over, where are we at? Well, now we're at 1, 6. And if we move 1 unit over again, well, now we're at 2, 6. And then we can go over and go to 3, 6. So on and so forth. And similarly, we can move the opposite direction. We can go backwards. So we can go 1 unit to the left, and now we're at -1, 6. And we can go a few units more, and now we'll be at -5, 6 right here. So you can see that no matter which point we choose on this line, the y value is always the same. It's always 6. Always 6, because the equation of this line is y equals 6. The only thing that changes is the x value. All right, now what happens if we had, and I'm just going to make up an example here, so this will just be example. What if we had x equals, I don't know, how about -5? Well, if we had x equals -5, let me go ahead and get rid of our line that we drew here. Well, again, we take a look and see, okay, I've been given, oops, I want to use the pen tool. I've been given x equals -5, and I know whatever variable I've been given is the axis my line is going to go through. All right, well, here's my x-axis. It's the axis running horizontally. So I'm going to go to -5, plot my point, and then connect that point to a hopefully somewhat straight vertical line going up and down. And again, every single point on this line, and there are infinitely number of points on this line, are all going to share the same x value. So right here at the x-intercept, our coordinate is -5, 0. But I could go up 7 units, and it's still -5. The only thing that's now changed is the y-coordinate, 7. Similarly, I could go down 4 units, and again, the x has not changed. I'm still at -5. The only thing that's changed is the y value. All right, so whatever the equation they give you, whatever variable they give you, so x equals or y equals, that's the axis your line is going to go through. Simply plot a point on that axis at whatever number you've been given, so equals some number, plot a point at that number on this axis, and then go ahead and either draw a vertical line or a horizontal line depending on whether it's x or y. All right, let me go ahead and quickly redraw the actual answer for number 2 here. So this was y equals 6, so again I'm going to go to 6 on the y-axis and just connect it with a horizontal line like so.